Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we're live for Manchester United against Fulham. What's your thoughts on the team? I'll get it up on the screen for you, of course. But look, United have to win today. There's no doubt about that. Brilliant protest from Manchester United. Glazers out, Glinios out, whatever you want to call it. Very, very, very good protest, and it sends the right message. And good that many mainstream outlets have picked it up as well, because that isn't always the case. So very happy to see that. And look, hopefully we can get the result, because they are two separate things. As we know, Manchester United winning games on the pitch is not about regime change at the start of this game either. So let me get the team on the screen for you. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's the Man United side. It's pretty much as expected, and I think that Cunha coming in makes sense. Some people thought maybe we'd see Sesko against the low block, but what you're going to do, drop Ahmad or Mbeumo? I don't know. And we'll look at the Fulham team in a minute. Yeah, that's the United side there. So look, not no surprise there. One of the things I did comment on was Mount. Mason Mount not on the bench for Manchester United. The bench today is a little bit weak, to be fair. No Xerxes. Oh no, Xerxes is on the bench. Xerxes, Sesko and Lacey are the attacking options. Not terrible, but obviously Mason Mount not on the bench, another injury. By my factors, Mason Mount's now out for about 7 times now this season, let alone the last 2 years. And look, whether he's a nice guy, whether he looks good in the new kit, whether he does nice little smiles, whether he's a good Instagram social media player for the club or not, probably, yeah. But you can't work with a player like this. You can't. It's like he's worse than Cavani. He is worse than Cavani in relation to his availability, and he's not as good as Cavani either. So I think that it's yeah, I mean, it's very, very disappointing from Mason Mount not to be available yet again. But it sort of goes back to what we said a year ago. There was this rumour that he has this injury that he's never going to get on the top of. The club were talking about him having an operation, but they didn't do the operation, probably because the operation wasn't going to solve anything, and he would have been out for 6 months with the operation. So look, Mason Mount's not on the bench, blah, blah, blah. Not really a surprise, but a bit disappointing when you haven't got Dorgu, because I think Mason Mount is a player that has brought the energy this season. He's actually played quite well when we've used him, but he's not available, so we move with what we've got. Cunha's been fantastic the last couple of games, so with Dorgu out, it's an opportunity for him. Fulham, different kettle of fish to what we've seen against Arsenal and Manchester City. So I want to see that early goal. I want to see that early intensity. I think there's a lot of people looking at this game quite rightly going, how do we perform against a team where we're the favourites to win? So yeah, Cunha ball in the chat. Good to see that. Yeah, Mason Mount's in his mid-20s. Cavani was in his 30s. Fair point, well made. Not gonna deny that. I think it's a fair point. And look, he wasn't going to start the game, so I'm not particularly bothered about it. It's just off the bench. But then again, Lacey's exciting. Xerxes can do stuff off the bench, and you've got Sesko as well. Just on Sesko, I wouldn't have started him today. I can see the value in it because it's a low block and they're high, they're tall. However, you can use him in the last half an hour of the game, can't you? So I'm not particularly fussed about that one. Score prediction, I'm going to stick with 3-1. I know there's a lot of people suffering with, PTSD, as Deva says, about United getting good results against big teams and then the light switch going off. I am quite relaxed about that. I don't know why. I think it's an absolutely huge game for United, and we have to win it because of what's happened yesterday with Chelsea and Liverpool. But I don't think the light switch is going to go off this month. I feel that today, Saturday against Spurs, next Wednesday against West Ham, will be fine. I'm more thinking about February when we've got to play Villa, Bournemouth away, Newcastle away. Those are the games that probably worry me a little bit more. I don't think the Carrick fire is going to go out this early. I think there's a few more wins in this interim bounce yet. Hopefully I'm right about that. But look, you never know with United. One thing we can't do is guarantee it. Right, let's get into it. I've put a bet builder together with Boyle Sports again as well. Hopefully this week I'll get it right. Boyle Sports is our sponsor, as you know, on Watchalongs. So here's my bet builder for today. I've got both teams to score. I'm going for 3-1. I've got Harry Wilson to score for Fulham. I've got Cunha to score for United. And I've got over 3.5 yellow cards. It's raining. It's raining, and I feel that might lead to could lead to a red card. You don't know. So that's why I've gone with those. If you don't know what a bet builder is, it's combining a few things you expect to happen in the same match: player involvement, goals, red cards, assists, corners. You know how it works, rather than trying to call an exact scoreline or a specific moment. Don't forget that with Boyle Sports, you get a cheeky bet builder boost tool as well. And with our upturn in form comes a massive new offer for you guys. Our partners, Boyle Sports, are offering a very tasty boost to this match for all customers. If you place a bet builder on this game, you'll receive a 50%, yes, 50% bet builder boost onto your bet slip. Just make sure you select boost when you've compiled your bet. So see the description for full terms and conditions. As well, they have the early payout feature. If your team goes 2 goals ahead at any point, you're paid out as a winner straight away, no matter what the result is. So if you go with Man United and we're 3-1 up, that's a 2-goal gap. You get paid out no matter what, even if Fulham come back into it. So come on, United, 2 goals, please. I'm going with 3-1. Let me know if you're sticking a bet on in the comments, or tell me how you got on last week. And as always, it's 18 plus. UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Term and conditions are in the description and on the screen for you. So let's have a look at the Fulham lineup. Now, look, we have been linked to Ndidi, whose father tragically died in the last couple of weeks. Now, I think Chukwueze's mother died this week as well. I saw Osman post about both players. Now, I didn't know Chukwueze, obviously, I remember him from Villarreal. He was on the bench last week. He's actually starting. So there's that pace on the break that we would probably have to be aware of. Harry Wilson plays. They've gone with Leno, Robinson. Anthony Robinson, not played a lot of football this season, but was arguably the best left back in the league last year with Kirkes. Kenka and Anderson, who are very big centre-backs. Castagne, Sanderberg, Iwobi, Smith Rowe, Wilson, Chukwueze, Jimenez. I mean, I look at that Fulham sort of midfield attack, and Iwobi I always thought was a winger, now plays in the midfield. Smith Rowe's more attack minded. Wilson's been scoring a lot of goals. Jimenez is a striker, and Chukwueze's got pace. So I don't think Fulham are necessarily coming here to park the bus, which playing against a low block, it might not be a low block. So let's be aware of that. I've just got to change the picture here, because I just remembered with this picture on a match, you can actually see it in the reflection. So let me just change that over, level it up. Is that level? Are you level? No. There we go. Okay, so let's. I didn't put it up on the screen for you. Apologies with that. There's the Fulham lineup for you. There we go. What are you saying in the chat? Series Talk, thank you very much for your super chat. It's £5 super chat. It says Glazers out, another window missed. Frustrating. Let's see how our team perform under a little bit of pressure. There was none the last 2 games, but I'm going to go with a Man United win. Rajaf says Cunha cooked against Fulham in the second game for us, if I remember correctly. I think we're about to witness insane aura and Burmo and Bruno goals as well. Well, I've gone with a Cunha goal in my bet builder as well, so I'm all for this Cunha talk. What's happened to De Ligt? Miss him in that defence. Glazers out. Let's get this top 4, says River. And I think not having Dorgu will hurt us a little bit, says Vex. And I wonder if we'll see Cunha centre forward with Ahmad and Mbeumo as wings, says Goldbridge. He might change it around a little bit. OTG says, Otgo Mario says, morning Mark, it's 5:30 a.m. 5:38 here in the morning. Come on, United. Let us know where you're watching from. Absolutely. Now, look, I think that there are probably a couple of things that are worth mentioning in this game. We're going to have more possession. I would expect Man United to have more possession. I would expect us to be more around their penalty box than they are around ours. Now, the upside of that is more chances created, hopefully, and we've not been bad at that this season. The downside of that is a high line with Harry Maguire in it, is their pace on the break we've got to be careful of. Luke Shaw's not particularly quick anymore. Delo's not particularly quick. Martinez and Maguire not particularly quick. So I'm very interested to see how this back 4 does. Well, actually, back 6. Mainu's not particularly quick, and Casemiro's not particularly quick. So I'm interested to see how Carrick deals with that because, look, Carrick's a far better coach than you or I, but if I'm picking that team that he's picked today, I am looking at that and I'm thinking, look, if we score with our attacks and we're 3-0 up, who gives a shit? But if it's a tight game and they counter well and we've got a high line, there's space in behind there. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to play a deep line. I'm just saying that it'll be interesting to see what we do with the midfield and the defence because we've got to make the pitch compact. We can't play deep and have a high line for the attack because the midfield will just get run through. So it's interesting how he's going to how deal with that. Le Mans obviously maybe a bit of a sweeper keeper today. Shout out to Northside FC, Cumbria Sunday League champion, says Glenn. Well done, pal. Hope you're doing well. Daniel Thompson says, hope all's well and the United stand. Hopefully a win. Let's go. Yes, Daniel, hope you're doing good as well. Alcaraz wins career slam. Now United win to top it off. Yes, he beat Jokovic, didn't he, Karen? Thank you very much. Thanks for those early super chats. Appreciate that. Yuri says, I think I am a better coach than Carrick. He's got nothing on my career mode. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily work like that. But look, we're going for 3 wins in a row today. And hopefully we can do it. I think we will. I'm not normally that confident about United, but I think we will do today. The league table, obviously, I think you might have seen it. No, you haven't. Let me just quickly put that up for you. So that's how it looks with the league table at the moment. Obviously, if we draw, we would go above Liverpool into 5th anyway on 39 points. If we win, we go back into 4th on 42 points ahead of Chelsea and Liverpool, who both won yesterday. So, look, it would be a shame having finally stepped into that 4th place. It would be a big shame to give it up after 1 week. I think that's something that Carrick has to dangle in front of these players and say, look, all season you've been knocking on the door of top 4. You've now got it. Are you going to relinquish it with a home game against Fulham? I want to see a fast start as well. I want to see a United performance, obviously, but I want to see a fast start. Michael Carrick, as a former player, will have played in multiple games like this, and he'll understand what it's all about. So I'm hoping that we see that quick start from United in the first 20 minutes. It'd be great to get the goal, get the confidence going, because I think so much of it does come down to confidence with United. I think the longer and the more we look at it over the years, the big problems that we've had has been, especially at home, is where teams come and express themselves and get confident because we allow them to. I think we've got to be certainly better at causing teams problems from the start. The crowd's fantastic at Old Trafford. It always is. It's always ready. So let's go out there from the start and play with a bit of speed and a bit of intensity. We've always been quite good at moving the ball about. We've always been quite good at creating chances this season. Under Amorim we were. Look at Fulham. Look at Fulham at Fulham. We should have been 3-0 up at half-time, and somehow we conspired to not win that game. So I think, look, let's get out there. Let's start the game well, and let's put ourselves in a comfortable position. Essentially, let's play well from the start, bit of confidence, and get the 3 points. Why not? It's there to be done, and that's what we're looking for today. 2 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, so we're about 15 minutes away from the start. No surprises with the team, as you see on the screen there. It's, sorry, I'm getting updates on Seb's game. Apparently they're playing really bad. Oh, that's what happens when I don't go. But he's not playing in midfield. Sorry, I get involved. I'll get involved. Right, if we beat Fulham, we're 7 points above 7th. Are we guaranteed Europa League this season, says Jack? Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not thinking about that. I think there's a big difference between the Champions League and the Europa League. And if it's the Europa League, obviously it's better than what we've done this season. But it's not massively transformative for us in relation to the money that we'll make and the excitement of the tournament. I don't want Europa League to be something that we look at and go, oh, that'll do. I think it's shit. I think from this point, we're not in the Champions League. We're playing 1 game a week. And, I mean, look, not Luke Shaw. Mason Mount didn't even play against Arsenal, and he's gone and got himself injured when we haven't even had a midweek game. So that's just how ridiculous the situation is. Like Liverpool and Newcastle and Chelsea, who are apparently competing with us for the top 5, they've all got to play Champions League football, and we've got such a opportunity here in front of us that I don't even want to think about guaranteed European football at this point. I want to think about Man United winning the spot in the Champions League. Somebody said, what do you think about Luke Shaw? He's broken some record for starting games. I think he's a chancer, mate. I'd love to have an interview with him, and I'd love to say, mate, you're an absolute chancer. You don't play for 2 years, and then suddenly you can play every week when you're nearly 30. So do you want to explain that to us? Because is it because it's World Cup year? Because there's a distinct fact that when it's a World Cup year or a Euros year, you play a lot more games than you do if you don't. So look, he's been a very important player for us this year, but are we just going to ignore the fact that he's suddenly and miraculously able to play every week? And yet, if it's not a major tournament, he can't do it. Now, I don't believe in miracles. I just think something's going on there. And like, maybe he's changed his bloody milk. Maybe he's drinking different water. Maybe he goes to sleep in an oxygen camp. I don't know. But it's incredible how well he's played this season and how he's been available every game. But, you know, the last 2 years before that, he was never available. But thank God he is, because if we didn't have Luke Shaw, who would be playing left back? Hello, Mark. If you could only buy one midfielder, who would it be and why? Elliot Anderson, Marlowe, yeah. Hope Fulham express themselves, then we can win, says Siraj. And I'm disappointed, says Les. I'm disappointed. What are your thoughts on this? He says, I'm disappointed Sesko's on the bench again. His off-the-ball movement is one of the best, and he could really open up low block sides. But are Fulham a low block side? Are we walking into something here? Are Fulham a low block side? I mean, gotta say, haven't watched them lots, but when you look at that midfield and you look at that attack, doesn't look like a team that's parking the bus to me. And Fulham, as we can see, are 7th in the league. So, I mean, Fulham are 4 points behind us. I don't know that they are necessarily going to sit in deep. I mean, I would. If I was Fulham, I'd sit in deep and counter, but they might not do that. And also, I think that if you play Sesko, you've got to put crosses into the box. And I would expect that Carrick would be an advocate of that, having been a Man United player. But it's not something we've done particularly well. And Mbermo brings a different type of issue against 2 tall centre-backs. Look, I haven't got a problem. We've got Sesko on the bench if we need to do it, Les. Angel Gomez back in the Premier League for Wolves, says Alex. And Caban says, good day, Mark. Hope United win today. Question from Saturday morning show. If Bruno leaves and stays in Europe and wins trophies, would he be our Harry Kane? Great work always. Well, I'm not thinking about Bruno leaving, but I think if he did leave, he'd probably want to stay in Europe, and he is the best number 10 in Europe, isn't he? Some Liverpool fans were trying to say that Wirtz is the best number 10 in Europe. Yeah, you don't get that after one game. Watching from Melbourne at 1 a.m. in the morning. I've got a feeling Harry Maguire scores the winner today. A cheeky header from a Mark Goldbridge special. Long throw-in. Come on, United, says Andre. I'd take anything. Any 3 points today is fine. Samuel says, why are the guys at the studio not at the protests? I mean, mate, I've explained this so many times. We went to the last protest and some people at the protest, we don't want fan content, we don't want fan cams here, and it got quite aggressive. So we support the protests, but it's about protesting about the ownership. It's not about being a red flag to violence and aggression and stuff like that. You know, it's unfortunate, but look, support the protests. If you're there, it's fantastic. They're doing great stuff, but we've explained this many times before, which is probably why most others don't get involved as well. Jason Wilcox says, what rating would you give United this transfer window? A solid 8? A solid shit. Shout out, done that one as well. And rumours Bellingham for sale in the summer. Would you take him if we sell Bruno in the summer? Vex, not going to happen, is it? Never going to happen. Do you think we can get Champions League football if we win this game comfortably, says Tom? I don't think this game determines Champions League football, Tom. Sent 10 memberships, Mr. Joe. Thank you very much. If you want Champions League football, you've got to win games like this. But winning this game doesn't mean we're going to get Champions League football. Obviously, there will be people out there that if we win this game 5-0, they'll say give Carrick the job and Champions League football's come in and they'll start singing songs, and that's fine. Fans are allowed to do that, but yeah, it's not today, is it? We've got to do it again and again and again and again. 1 Inch Wonder says manager's probably playing Seb at 8 instead of his natural position at 10. A la Bruno, not his fault. Hello, Mark. I've done that one from Marlowe as well. Thank you very much. So thanks everyone who's tuning in. We've got about 10 minutes to go to the start of this game. 28,000 legends tuning in. Make sure you share the video and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Mark, you're keeping the community service bus entertained on our drive home. Thanks, says Wig. Thank you very much. United 3, Fulham 1. That's my score, Damo. I have actually gone with that. I've gone with a Fulham. I'm going to sit down for a little bit because I'm going to be up and down quite a lot. I've still got this lower A up. That's not the right number. That's the one. I'm still suffering with this lower back pain, so there's just no way I can stand up for like 45 minutes at the moment. So I'm just going to have a little 10-minute sit down before the start of the game. There you go. You'll join me in a minute. Thank you very much. That's a little bit high. Should we go to... yeah, we'll do 10 minutes like that. That's fine. Mark, club shop been shut due to protests. It's working, says GMH. Well, I was going to ask, has anybody got any major updates on the protest and what it's done? I mean, I'd love to see the game getting called off, but that's not actually what they're trying to do. How many starters is this team away from competing? I mean, this team's good enough to get Champions League football this year. We've seen the quality of the Premier League this year. So, yeah, it's definitely good enough to that. It's not good enough to get anywhere near a title race. And it's very difficult to predict what that is. You've just got to do what's in front of you. You know, we've sacked our manager. We're halfway through the season. Every game's a cup final. That's a cliche, but you've just got to go into every game and try and win it. I don't know why, but this game reeks of a Casemiro red card, says Chris. Very different game. Very, very different game. You're watching a game of football today, and against Man City and Arsenal, we are the underdogs. Against Manchester United, we are the favourites. And therefore, we have to dictate the play. Now, on the ball, I think we're good. But without the ball, it's going to be interesting. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Verts, who Bruno is Ra... Works nowhere near, says Amit. Thank you very much. Apparently we're signing... yeah, I'm not reading that one. And thanks for the sub, says Joanna. Thank you very much, Joanna. If we win tonight, do United Stand get a haircut this... Does United Stand... Ian, what is this? If we win tonight, do you think United Strand gets a haircut this year? You were quite adamant that he wasn't going to get one in the video 2 weeks ago. Oh, he's got a great chance to get... I wonder what you're on about there. I mean, I couldn't give two shits about the guy and his haircut, really. I mean, I know it's been great for his career and well done. I think it is for charity, but somebody getting a haircut because they've done a 5-win... Is it 5-win thing? Couldn't give a shit, really. I'm more interested in the Champions League. So if that's a byproduct of that, I think we've got a great chance. A great chance. Where's the Christmas tree? I didn't get it up because... I don't want to be accused of jinxing United's run because putting your Christmas tree up early or back up early or whatever you want to call it is bad luck. So, yeah. Couldn't care less, Ollie. I dreamt last night we were 9-4 up at half-time, says Tyler. Well, I would like that. I would like that. Mark, remember when you didn't just cut off any comedic super chat sent your way? Relax. Yeah, but I'm not reading out stupid... No, Josh, I'll carry out. It's a Manchester United game. I want us to win. If somebody says something funny, I'll read it. But I find it a little bit weird, some of the stuff people say about... Some of it's a bit weird. And no, I don't have to read it out. And that was voted for by the community, not me. That was at the end of last season, and people said, just because it's a super chat, if it's a load of shit or weird, you don't have to do it. And it was voted for by you. So this is a real test now. With Man City and Arsenal, we can sit back and counter-attack. But with a mid-table team, Carrick needs to show he can change, says Connor. If we having a laugh has gifted a membership. You're a legend. If we get battered, then a panic signing incoming, says Cammy. Love United and hate the Glazers, says the Nooch. And look, I don't think that the result today surely can't have that much of an impact on the transfer activity in the next 24 hours. I don't think if United were to lose today that you'd necessarily go, well, here we are. Let's go and buy these players. I don't see that being the case. I think what's more likely to happen is that they've got somebody lined up or they haven't. And if they have, then great. And if they haven't, then it's embarrassing, isn't it? But I don't actually think today's result makes a hell of a lot of difference, because we've known for weeks that we were playing the day before the last day of the transfer window. And if we haven't got anything lined up and we're waiting on a result against Fulham, then that would be completely amateur, wouldn't it? I've just thought, actually, that fits in perfectly with us. Yeah, maybe if we did lose, we'd go and buy somebody. Yeah, maybe we would. Okay, players are in the tunnel, about ready to go. Thanks for all your super chats. Every day says hog reveal if United win the Premier League next season. Don't know what that means. Will you ever play FIFA 26 career mode again, says SL, potentially. Thank you very much for that. And I don't care if they lose, just don't play absolute shit, says Tyler. I mean, I do care if we lose. I do care if we lose. We need to win this game today. It's easy to turn up against. Actually, we've not even spoken about this. Why is Delo starting over Mazraoui? Is that not a big talking point? How does he do it? How does Delo do it? I've just completely. I said he'd pick Delo over Mazraoui. But seriously, how does that happen? How has he got away with that? How has he got away with 25 minutes of us not talking about that? How is Delo starting over Mazraoui? What does this lad do at Old Trafford that every manager fucking loves him and picks him, and then we watch him and go, he's a nice guy, he works really hard. And look, he's walking out with his daughter, I think, which is great. Look at him, he's pointing at everyone, he's holding his kid up, fantastic. Lovely moment for him. But it's like my postman doing it. He's a lovely guy, but would I want him playing right back ahead of Mazraoui? No. I wouldn't. So I don't know whether that's a talking point or not, but Mazraoui is 10 times a player than Delo is, and yet here's Delo again starting at right wing. And he's up against somebody who's quite good. So, Big says stop bullying Delo. No, it's not bullying, mate, because every single time I talk about Delo, I always say how hard he works, what a nice person he is, how he's well liked in the club, what a professional he is. So, and I know all that for a fact. It's not bullying. It's an opinion that you don't like. He does work really hard. He is well liked. He probably is a really nice guy and he's very professional. But he ain't that good. He isn't. And you can have that conversation. Why is he starting ahead of Mazraoui, who is better than him? Mazraoui was playing for Bayern Munich. Delo ain't playing for bloody Bayern Stoke. But look, hopefully he'll have a good game today and I'll get proved wrong. But I think long term, if we want to be in the top four, you've got to pick your best players. Delo cut the grass for free, says Aditio. I feel like if we do win, stupid fans will think that we don't need new players and it gives Glinios a free hit. Obviously, this isn't the case, says Connor. Do you think Maguire will get found out as we change to a back four and a high line, says Chris? Well, I've spoken about it. It doesn't automatically happen because you're playing a back four with Maguire in it. He's a professional footballer at a high level and he might actually be fine. But look, Casemiro, Martinez, Maguire, Delo, Shaw, there's not a lot of pace there. And if Fulham break quick, then I would expect them to cause us a few problems. Whether they're good enough, I don't know. We should have tried Heaven instead of Harry to give us some pace and a confident high line, says Cammy. Big game for Mainu as well. Nice to see him in the team again. Love how you can sign a player. It's February now, says TCG. I think that's predetermined, isn't it? That the transfer window was going to close on a Monday. They very rarely close it bang on the 31st of August or January anymore, do they? They always look to do it on a Monday. United are actually the second best team against the low block after Aston Villa. A bit shocked when I saw that, says Jesper. Mate, you can shove your stats up your arse. I think every Man United fan knows we struggle against teams who play a low block. As we saw against, I don't know how we can be second. How are we, mate, is that bullshit? Have you pulled that out your arse? How can we be second? Everton at home, we lost. West Ham at home, we drew. Wolves at home, we drew. Leeds, we drew. Like, I'm not buying into that. I mean, everybody else must be absolutely shit against the low block then. Here we go. We're up and running. United against Fulham. I'm actually going to move that. If I'm sitting down, let's push you down a little bit. We want a quick start here from United, that's for sure. I'm interested to see how this line's going to work. I mean, that's not a low block from Fulham, is it? Could be a mid block against the mid block. We might not play a high line and they might not play a low block. So it could be mid block against mid block where both teams play like that. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Fans are up for it. Great energy, says Mr. Scally. Let's keep the momentum going, says Ollie. United are actually the second best done that one. Here's Bruno. So let's get an early chance here. Good tackle, Delo. And it goes back to Maguire. So a few long diagonals from United in the first 2 minutes. We're never going to leave that. I don't blame Carrick for it. The Ripper, I haven't seen any of your super chats. No. Not seen any. So don't know why they're not coming through. Yeah, it's something that won't leave Manchester United. It was there with... I mean, I can't remember where it started. It was certainly there with Ollie. Might have been there with Jose. Stayed with Ten Hag. Stayed with Amorim. And it's here again with Carrick. These long diagonals that I just think are probably inbuilt to certain players. Maguire loves a long diagonal. Yeah. We love them. I don't necessarily think it's good to be playing long diagonals in the first 2 minutes. I personally would be getting the ball down the wing, using the overlap, whipping a cross in. It gets the crowd up. King Brian says, I think Delo is very good at right back. That's great, mate. If you've got any friends and family, they really do need to be looking out for you a little bit better. Good morning from Cold Front, Florida. First time making Yorkshire pudding after watching your Cooking with Goldbridge show from last weekend. Are you going to do another soon? They came out excellent, says Not Loop. So I'm very proud to hear this. Well done, mate. And yeah, there will be more coming up soon. Check out We're Driving with Goldbridge this week. Bruno leading the press here. And Burmo definitely playing through the middle. Strand Larsen signed for Crystal Palace, by the way. I thought that had already happened, but David Ornstein has just confirmed that. A lot of space out there, as you can see, for Fulham here straight away. Chukwueze up against Delo, into the box. Casemiro holds him up well. Anthony Robinson, very good player, and wins the free kick. No, he doesn't win the free kick, puts the cross in. Luke Shaw wins it, edge of the box, and a wild shot there by Anderson. Danny Boy says, it's nearly 2 a.m. here. Convince me to stay, Mark. Well, if you're a real fan, you'll stay. Not Loopsy. Yeah, thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate that. You can do that through the $sign. Have your say. We'll read it out. Alex says, stop waffling. Every good team plays long diagonals. They're hard to defend when played good. Oh, well, you'll have to show me one that's good then, mate, because I just get tired of these long balloon balls diagonally that don't really do anything. When are we getting dating with Goldbridge, says Hyans? Well, unlikely, considering I'm happily married. Wouldn't never say never, you never know, but nice ball by Mainu into Ahmad. Right, you've got to run at him here. Good shot. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see in the first 2 minutes. 4 minutes. Quick ball out to Ahmad. Exploits the fullback. Gets the shot off. And that could have been 1-0. That could have been 1-0. That was a sighter for Ahmad. And that's what he can do. Gets the crowd up. Got to keep the intensity up. I mean, Fulham aren't one of those teams that are in Europe, so trying to think. Tottenham next. Oh no, they're not in the Carabao. It's Carabao Cup week this week, isn't it? So yeah, next 3 games, everyone's in the same boat really. Spurs will have a week off. We've got a week off, and then obviously it's a midweek game against West Ham. I thought West Ham did quite well against Chelsea yesterday. Wan-Bissaka was brilliant. That Somerville's good as well. Nice ball over the top here. Looked a little bit offside to me. Linesman's kept his flag. Good defending by Maguire. And yeah, I think he did look offside, Wilson, but the referee played it on. Apparently Forest have scored. I'll get my app up actually. It's close, but yeah, he was offside. They didn't score anyway. Yeah, Forest 1-0 up against Palace in the first few minutes there. Gibbs White. I can see Palace. Villa play Brentford and Forest are playing Palace at the same time as us. Cyber Spider says, I know long balls have been here since Louis van Gaal, as he famously had crash out printed Excel sheets. Can't remember if Moyes did it or not, says Cyber Spider. So it predates Mourinho, doesn't it? Mark, it's my birthday today, so I'm having a United win. Thanks for all you do, mate, says Luke O'Neill. Thank you, pal. And the Ripper has gifted 10 memberships, so you obviously do have something working there, pal. Thank you. Jimenez, he's a bit of a Premier League. Been around for a while, hasn't he? Luke says, Luke, it's my birthday, so I'm having a United win. Thanks for all you do, mate. Much love. Come on, United, says Luke. Happy birthday, mate. Let's hope we can get a win. Good play by Ahmad. He's gone past Anthony Robinson a couple of times now, and we've got an early corner here. Ahmad's the ball. Ahmad's the ball. King Millie says, are we okay with Sesko being benched? And it's incredible how the Glazers get away with it. No signings in January again. Get them out. Thank you, Lord Orlando. I mean, I'm all right with Sesko being benched. He's on the bench. He can come off the bench. We're second in the league for set-piece goals, according to this Sky Sports data. And I think Mbermo on corners is a good idea. It's a good corner. Maguire, good header. He's so good in the air, Maguire. I've always said that, even when he was crap. He's just so good in the air at winning it. Not necessarily direction. Dakota says, would you keep Maguire for another season? I don't know. I really don't know, because I think was that not a foul on Mbermo? Was that not a penalty? I mean, I'm convinced he didn't get the ball. No, he did. He got a little bit of the ball. He got a little bit of the ball. Didn't look like it. I'm with everybody in the chat. I'm like, that looks like a penalty to me, but you sometimes have to look at it again. He did get the tiniest bit of the ball. It was a lovely, lovely long ball over the top. See, Martinez's long balls over the top are different to the long diagonal. Don't get confused about, oh, look, your long diagonal. That's not a long diagonal. That's a long ball over the top. Crowd seems quiet on the TV. A Sly Sports News using the COVID sounds to mask out the Glazer chants. Who knows, Bulbous? I remember that. Fulham on the attack. Good defending by Ahmad. He's had a good start to this game. Did I get the email about hotel in Aviemore, says Chris? I think I did. Thank you very much. I will reply. Got about 50 emails at the moment. It's a shame Mbermo's touch there actually wasn't that great. Because if he'd got it out his feet, he'd have scored off his left. He's trying to just put it into his... Yeah, he's unlucky. He's trying to push it into his left. But not quite there. I remember Rooney playing long diagonal balls. Yes, Martin, I remember that as well. Hi, Mark. How many clubs do you need to play for before you're considered a journeyman, says Yellow Bathing Suit? Officially, I think it's 6. Stephen says, looks like Carrick has been encouraging the team to pass through the lines more. Looks better and will create more chances. Thank you very much, Stephen. And Niall says, it's crazy there's no signings in January, considering our best player in the team was a January signing, Bruno. The gap has to be closed. It was definitely a different game this first 10 minutes. Doesn't mean we're not going to win, but as you know, Arsenal 70% possession in the first half an hour last week. Man City 70% possession for the entirety of the game last week. This game a little bit more 50-50 from what I've seen. I'd be surprised. Yeah, 50-50 possession so far. Do you think it was a penalty? I've seen them given, and I don't think you could complain massively if it was given, but I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was. The way I look at it is, corner to Fulham. The way I look at it is, if that was at the other end and it was Maguire getting a bit of the ball instead of Jimenez, we'd all be saying it wasn't a penalty. So look, I'm not saying you're wrong if you want a penalty. You could argue that it should have been, but I always think, let's be fair, if it was up the other end, would you have a case to say it wasn't? He got a little bit of the ball for me. Only Rasmus can save United, says Harry. I saw Teddy Sheringham saying bring him back. Never even thought about it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of bringing any player back. So 3 a.m. in New Zealand. Anything end up happening with the protests? Yes, Harris. I've not. To be honest, I've literally got back 5 minutes before I went live because my daughter's playing a match, so I had to take her. So I only saw the team news a couple of minutes before we started, so I didn't get to see anything about the protest. But somebody was saying, "Great save, Le Mans." Whoa! I tell you what, that was a big chance. How many times do we say this about Le Mans? He's done it again. Cross comes into the back post. Luke Short, we've always been crap on the back post, and just a big save because it's one of those ones where it's not for the cameras. It's a little toe poke, and he's sort of going past him, but it's just fast reactions. Big save, Le Mans. That we've said that a few times in the recent months. Bellingham's out of the World Cup, says Maloney. I don't know what that's all about. Punched away by Le Mans. All right, chance to break here with Ahmad. Is it me or just Cunha look shaky to start, says Ryan? Well, we haven't really seen Cunha on the ball yet. Thanks for your super chats, by the way, Ryan and Harrison and Harry. What was your score prediction? 3-1 United. Mainu's looking to get that ball out to Ahmad a lot. Good recovery tackle by Mainu. The low goes long. Did UK media mention the protesters hall in the pre-match? Assuming no, since our normal US crew is at the Olympics. Sky Sports avoided mentioning it, says Jose. I saw the BBC had something. Afternoon, Mark. It's my birthday on Tuesday, so I'm hoping that the players will give me a happy weekend, says Midri. It's been an interesting game the first 15 minutes. Reminds me a little bit of Brighton. Remember Brighton in October? They started off quite well, and you just need that first goal. There was a bit of a penalty shout in that game as well for Ahmad, wasn't they? But we got the first goal, and then we were okay. I just think we've got to get it. We've got to get the first goal. What's this Bellingham out of the World Cup stuff all about? I don't massively know what it's about. He got subbed off early in the Madrid game. Maybe he's injured, I don't know. Yeah, that was a crowd-pleasing challenge by Mainu. Definitely got the ball. Thank you, Ash. Thanks for your super chat. Says, hope you and the family are doing well, mate. Hamstring injury. No, he's not destined. He won't be out of the World Cup with that. Cunha, first little time. Given a penalty! Wow! Referee has given a penalty here now as he levelled things up. Cunha felt it was a penalty. Silva's not happy. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I am shocked. Look, give credit to the ref. He shouldn't be making that tackle there. That gets the ball. That's never a penalty. I tell you what, I don't know what the referee's on about here because that is not a penalty. That is not a penalty. I'm sorry. That's not a penalty. Didn't look like one. No way is that a penalty. He's going to have to review that. I'm surprised he gave it. I mean, I'm hoping he's going to keep it. No. No. Never in a million years. Never in a million years. I mean, they might give it for a bit of a tug of the shirt, but come on, that's not why he's giving it. Be fair to Fulham. Be fair to Fulham. You're not. That's not why he's giving it. He's giving it for the tackle. He's not giving it for the shirt. We're going to be very lucky if we get this. You could give it for the pay. No, he's going VAR. No, he's not even going to check it. He's not even going to check it. He's not going to give it. Look, I'm not surprised. Some people are saying, what about the shirt pull? That's not why he gave the penalty, though. I don't. He gave the penalty for the tackle where he thought he took Cunha out. He's not giving it for the shirt pull, so... Yeah, probably the right decision. Dorian, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Andy Atherton says, I've got United, Villa and Forest all to win and it pays 600. And we need Mbeumo on the left, Sesko up top. Cunha is a good player, just not right for this match. It looks big up United stand, says Rizzo. Lamens is our most important signing, in my opinion, says Billy. We can still win the title if top teams drop points, but least likely, says Black Panther. Mark, that should 100% be a penalty. The player went through the back of Mbeumo before getting the ball. I think Sheikh is talking about the other one. Anyway, he's given a free kick for the shirt pull. And a goal! Casemiro! 1-0 to United. Maybe Fulham switched off a little bit. But Casemiro, we've won 2 crosses already. And it's Casemiro who makes it 1-0 to United. Towering header on the back post. Maguire had won one from a corner before, but Bruno with a precise assist again. Verts it down. There's only one best number 10 in this bloody Premier League, and his name is Bruno Fernandes. And Casemiro, I tell you what, when he does leave, we're going to miss that aerial ability. Lovely header. Look at that. Stacked up on the back. Dominant header. Casemiro and Maguire, they just can't deal with him. And they were both ready to go for that. I actually thought it was going to be Maguire. But it's a lovely cross by Bruno. And Casemiro's header is absolute perfection. What a free kick. What a header. 1-0. I was surprised we got a free kick, to be honest. I really was. The penalty was for a supposed foul on Cunha. I don't think the shirt pull was even a foul. But we should have just had a corner, but we'll take it. Yeah, the protests have led to the club shop being closed, apparently. I've just seen a tweet about that. So anyway, look, good start for United, 1-0. Fulham are quite a good team when they go behind, apparently. Do you think it was a foul? No. I think they should have given a corner, but look, we might have scored from the corner anyway. Maguire was very close from the corner. There we go. Just a reminder, we're sponsored by Boyle Sports on the show today. And if you didn't hear what my bet builder was, I've got both teams to score. I've got Harry Wilson and Cunha to score at any time. And I've got over 3.5 yellow cards. So both teams to score. I'm halfway there. Harry Wilson and Cunha not quite yet. Over 3.5 yellow cards. Not been any bad tackles yet. But we're in the early stages. 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description. And if you're new to Boyle Sports, there's a bet £10, get £40 in free bets offer available. Details are in the description via the QR code on screen. Fulham have got acres here. That's absolutely shit. Who's that? Castagnier. We'll do that every day of the week. Got to be careful about that. I don't know who the I don't know who was marking on the left there, but there was a lot of space for Fulham. Look, just happy to be 1-0 up here. Ryle says, hi Mark, why not get United Stand to partner with other channels and lead regular protest at matches? One-off protests are not effective. Agree? No. And is it only who wonders would Onana save those shots, says What's Up Sham. And Dorian Davies, welcome to the members club. Thanks for getting your badge in. Appreciate that. So United leading 1-0, Forest are leading 1 against Palace, and Villa 0-0 with Brentford at the moment. Yeah, well, I said this game reminded me a little bit of Brighton back in October, where it's quite an equal game, but we got that first goal. It just settled the nerves a bit. Started to play a little bit more confident. And we were absolutely cruising in that game until the subs. Well up, Maguire. We need to use the crowd to finish the game now, says Aditio. Have you heard that Arsenal could be banned from the Champions League, says Mr. BDA. No. I haven't. Someone said, can you show us the table? I will in a minute. Get the ball to, I think get the ball to Ahmad. That's a crap cross by Shaw. It's a shame. It's going to go out for throwing. If Bruno goes in the summer, how do we replace the volume and variety of his assists? I get Ricky's point about Bruno. I think him losing him is worse. Well, look, I mean, I mentioned that about Casemiro, didn't I? I mean, Casemiro does need to go. However, he is somebody that gets a lot of goals from set pieces. He's a set piece threat, isn't he? I don't think Anderson, Baleba or Wharton are particularly good in the air, so you're going to lose that. Back up to 4th as things stand, a point ahead of Chelsea and 2 points ahead of Liverpool. Important to take the lead in this game and to do it in the first 20 minutes. Chris says, have you ever struggled to erect a tent? I'm going camping next week and I always struggle to get mine up and keep it up. Yeah, it's not my sort of thing, that, Chris. I think I can just imagine myself, Goldbridge, putting up a tent, getting very angry and just throwing it in a river. Lamen's a good replacement for club legend Dave, wouldn't you say so, Mark, says Black Panther? Well, it's exactly what we did with David De Gea. We brought in a young goalkeeper with potential. We gave them the time to grow. And they became a club great. So be careful of this, though. Smith Rowe running off Casemiro when they can stretch the game. That's problematic. Got to be careful of that because they can break quickly. The Wrestle Rant says, Casemiro's been great under Carrick. New manager bounce or playing for a new deal elsewhere. Light switch. Can go one of two ways with Casemiro, you know. It can go one of two ways. Obviously, at the moment, he looks very, very motivated, and you can call it the Willian effect, where you're playing for a move, so you start playing really, really well. Or it can go the Trent way, where he knew he was going to Real Madrid, but he dropped off, maybe not wanting to get injured and stuff like that. So it can go one of two ways. Cunha's playing instead of Dorgu, Resk. Yeah, I agree with Wraith. We've got to be a little bit careful on the break because Smith Rowe ran off Casemiro a couple of times, and it's only because Fulham have probably been a little bit wasteful in the final third with their opportunities. Apparently, they've got a very good record at coming from behind. Fulham. Win, we are 4th. Draw, we are 5th. Lose, we are 6th, says BZD. Well, let's hope it's a win. Goldbridge goes camping when, says Ben, MC. And I can't believe the club hasn't sacked Deloaf after he was a real... Oh, yeah, I'm not reading that, says Connor. Thank you very much. Would I take Rashford back? No, and I think he'd be foolish to come back, as I've said before. Can't afford to lose Casemiro, Bruno and Maguire, says Dakota. Well, I think we can. I don't think we can lose Bruno. Mr. Scally says, camping with Goldbridge is a must. We must see this. Snip says, I just know Man United are going to do something before the window ends. I don't know what we're going to do. The only one I can think of is Ndidi, but I sort of feel, yeah, I sort of do feel the same as you, to be honest. It just feels like we will do something, but it's hard to do something in 24 hours that you haven't been working on already, and we have held talks with Ndidi, so maybe that would be the one. Sanderberg. Remember, a lot of people wanted Sanderberg at Man United. I didn't. In fairness, though, was it Sanderberg or Agate, or was that? It must have been that. It must have been Sanderberg or Agate. Fulham in the final third have been shit so far, which is encouraging because we can just break away like this. And I just posted the league table in my group chat for the first time in years. What a nice feeling, says Nath. When can we see drinking with Goldbridge this sort? I ain't had a drink in a few days now. I've got terrible stomach ache. It's this back pain. I don't know what's going on. It's doing my head in. Normally I stand up for United games. Would you take Calafiori at United? Well, it's never going to happen, Benjamin. Nearly a great ball by Mainu into Bruno. Slightly ahead of him. So it nearly was an absolute worldie of a ball by Mainu, to be fair. It's the sort of ball Bruno would play, but he's getting on the end of it. Key player for Fulham is Smith Rowe. Well, I'm quite comfortable with Jimenez up front because he's not quick, and neither are our centre-backs. Camping with you would turn into something else, as Charlie. Games like this, though, performance is one thing. Winning is another. Anderson wanted Leno to come and get that. Hi, Mark. If Bruno stayed, what midfielders would you buy out of the three you mentioned? It's Elliot Anderson every day. Andrew says, I'm loving Man Utd at the moment. Composed, doing the simple things. Great touch, pass and move. What was going on? I disagree a little bit. I don't think he's really been in this game that much. I think he is doing the simple things well, but I'd like to see a little bit more, if I'm being honest. I think Casemiro's had a good start, but I'd like to see a little bit more from Man Utd. Although, we nearly did. It was nearly a fantastic ball into Bruno. Why has Sesko lost his place, Mark? Because we're winning, Pistol. Simple. Back pain and lower stomach could be kidney stones, says Razor. No, it's not. It's definitely, as Clell says, sciatica, or whatever you want to call it. Another corner here. This has got... Look, set piece FC. People call it Arsenal. We've had a corner where Maguire nearly scored. We've had a free kick where Casemiro did score. To be honest with you, open play, we look very good on set pieces today. Dink it up to the back post again. Maguire or Casemiro, please. Can you say hi to my Pratt friend Arson in Miami? He's complaining it's cold down there. Whoa, again, it causes problems. But Fulham will clear. Shove that up your Arsenal. Did you see the post about your salary, says Jake? No. I ignore it all because it would just be a load of bollocks. Josh says sitting will make your back worse, trust me. I'm in more pain when I stand up, mate, so it might make it worse, but good play by Iwobi. Which of the signings from Fulham, Van der Sar, Sahar or Smalling, had the best tenure at United? It's Van der Sar, 100%. Chukwueze on the back post. Little dink. Get rid of it, Ahmad. Lovely play. Go on, mate. I think Ahmad's in such good form at the moment. I really do. Cunha, a bit of space to Bruno and a little flick. Couple of flicks from Bruno haven't come off. Let's just play the simple pass. Come on. Never seen Heat. What's it about? I know you'd recommend you watch it every year. Crime thriller, Mike. Rajaf says, this is not about Madueke, but the Premier League 20 minutes ago judged the second one was his and not on OG the day after the game. Is stupid, right? Says Rajaf. Yeah, a little bit stupid, to be honest, yeah. Ahmad has been our best player for me. I agree with you, Cause. Good play by Chukwueze here. Gets away from Delo and goes out for a throw-in. Yeah, the shootout scene in Heat is amazing, as Storr says. Do you think Dorgy will be out for 10 weeks? I'm hopeful that he won't. When I first heard 10 weeks, I thought that's very prescriptive. Delo heading away along throw-in. The irony. Yeah, to say he's out for 10 weeks straight away. I mean, look, Bruno was meant to be out for 6. And he was only out for 2. Good tackle, Mainu. Bit of pressure from Fulham here, but we've got plenty of numbers back. Mr. Goldbridge, I was your pool boy in summer 2019. We shared a passion kiss. I miss you. Didn't have a pool in 2019. Commentators say that United second to Arsenal in set-piece goals this season, says Stewart. Yes, you'll be right about that. Mainu is a breath of fresh air, says Francis. Manchester United to be in the top 3, come on United, and also prediction for the Champions League draw, says Joshua. Mate, I like the top 3 thing, but predictions for the Champions League draw. What's he going to do? Sorry everyone, I was just going to get my cup of tea. I wasn't walking out in protest at that question about what's my thoughts on the Champions League draw. I mean, I don't even understand the Champions League draw, to be honest, so I can't even give you any thoughts on it. Times myself out from the disgust. Navo says, I'm your pool boy from 2024. There's a lot of pool boys, isn't there? I haven't got a pool. Iwobi or it won't be Fulham. Iwobi or it won't be for Fulham, Mark, says Rav. Fantastic. I'd rather us recall Collier than sign Ndidi, says Red Devil. I do want to see Sesko on with some decent minutes, says John. I think we will see Sesko on at some point. The set-piece game is very strong from United, though. It's a lovely ball from Mainu, but it's given a foul. I like that Mainu's got the brief of getting the ball to Ahmad. Is Bruno showboating instead of keeping it simple? Look, Marcus, I'm a big fan of Bruno Fernandes, and I love him in the number 10. And what I know about Bruno, and I've had this chat with Ricky many a time, is that, yeah, he'll give the ball away. He'll frustrate the shit out of you. But at some point in the 90 minutes, probably more than once, he'll get us a goal. And it was his free kick that got the Casemiro goal. So, look, Bruno will frustrate, but he will also deliver. That's who he is. Some people don't like it. Some people do. But he's currently irreplaceable in this team. Responding to the pool boy as it was possible, but the year was the only questionable fact, says Jack. Valentine's Day is 2 weeks away. Will you be my Valentine, says Gary Neville. I know you're a frake. Thank you. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Even the alleged pool boys, which just sounds dodgy, but there we go. It should be 4-0, says Jad. I don't know how you figure that one out, but we definitely deserve to be in front. My mate thinks we should bring Glasner in. Would you agree he's a prat, says Riley. The only way I'd take Glasner is if it's Glasner or Southgate. But Fulham have been blunt up top, and long may that continue. So Jimenez still wears that padded Anthony Robinson. Look at where he's gone there. You've got to be careful of him. He loves going forward. Away B, good shot. Commentator saying Carrick deserves the job after 2.5 games in charge. Oh my God, here we go. Facepalm. Who's the commentator, BR? Can we not just ridicule him on Twitter or something? Get him the sack. Cancel him. Sack this commentator for being a twat. Going to Old Trafford for the first time next year. Where else in the UK should I visit, says Jake. In the UK, Stoke, definitely. As I keep saying, it's the hidden gem of the United Kingdom. I'll tell you what, Fulham do move. I must say, fair play to Marco Silva. I am looking at some of the managers that get linked to us now and going, how do they play football? We will never go for Marco Silva, but I do like the way they play football, Fulham. And I don't think I've ever said it before. However, I do like the way Fulham play football. They move the ball quickly. They keep it on the ground. They utilise the wings. Obviously, they're not. I don't want Marco Silva as the manager, but they do play good football. They're just shit in the final third. Have you heard of Sesko? He's good up-and-coming midfielder. Did really well at Strasbourg under Rosinia. Sexo. Oh, yes, all sports news. You nearly caught me out, but you didn't. Nearly is a miss. Didn't cross the line. Corner to Fulham. Crap. Goal kick. Bruno's got the most assists in the Premier League right now. People don't appreciate his impact on results. Thank you, Jamie. And if he doesn't have a pool, or we would have swimming with Goldbridge, says Brian. The sciatic nerve is the biggest in the body normally. Fat or pregnant lady gets it. Buy Solpadeine Max from Boots. It's a godsend. Says Itchy. Look, I've had back pain before, but the last 2 weeks, I don't know what I did. The right side of my back got hurt, and I've never recovered from it. And then the left side is hurting down my thigh, and I feel sick. And at night, it hurts into my shoulder when I lie down. I don't know what I've done. I'm just hoping it's going to go away like it normally does, but I feel like it's probably something a bit serious this time. Is it acceptable to pee in the shower, says Carr? Yes. And Vaughan says, I think today is a bigger test than City Arsenal. They seem to be handling it so well. It will be interesting to see how we see out this game, says Vaughan. Need the second goal. Love to see Lacey get 30 minutes, says Jack. Yes, me too. And the Glazers, Sir Jim Radcliffe, the director of football, aiming for top four without a proper holding midfielder just shows how amateur they are at running a football club. Sanderberg of Fulham is a testament to that, says Adarish. Berg is bullying Bruno, says Castle. Who's your ideal long-term manager for United, says Arwad. Well, I'm not going to lie. For me, I would say Luis Enrique is got to be the dream, and it probably is a brilliant dream. How's the game going, Mark? Have we continued our form from the previous couple of games, says Jacob? I've been quite impressed with the game today. We've been very good on set pieces. We've created very little in open play. And if it's good enough for Arsenal, it's good enough for us. Defensively, we've looked very strong. And we look a threat from set pieces. And if we win the game 1 or 2-0 with a set piece and a clean sheet, I'll be okay. It's just about winning, isn't it, Jacob? Who do you reckon we should go for this summer as our new manager in the midfield? And you've been saying it, Orsino, Bruno is the best number 10, says Ashish. I think I just answered that, didn't I, about Enrique. Mainu was nearly in down the wing, but I think with Mainu, what he's done well in this game is, and what he's got to do in this game is just move the ball. Back and side pain for Mark Goldbridge, says Riley. See a chiropractor, says LB. Yeah, I'm going to. Acupuncture is good for back, says David. Definitely got to look at Stiller to replace Casemiro. Tremendous player. I'm very impressed, says Undeniably. Locke says, hi Mark, hope you're well. Loved cooking with Goldbridge and enjoying the game while listening to you in some Texas. What? Texas the band? I don't want a lover. The closer we get to half-time, the more rid I get of the half-time record. Happens every game. Fulham have been mostly toothless, though, says Shay. Yeah, I mean, look, I was quite confident about this game before it, and I'm still confident now. I don't see the light going out this early. The players are you can see the players are enjoying it. They will drop off at some point, but it's too soon at the moment. It's almost like a new relationship, isn't it, with these players? They're not going to get bored on the third date. They're not ready for it yet. How's your boy Amrim doing with the United squad? Perfect managers for us, says Asif. Oh, mate, I think it's really sad that you have to come in talking about Amrim. I mean, everyone's moved on. We're winning games. I don't know what your obsession is. It says more about you than it does everybody else. Do you reckon Glinios know which manager they want, says Forms? Yeah, I think it's Michael Carrick. If Bronco leaves, who... Bronco? Bruno Dante. Get the ball to Ahmad. 3 minutes added on. If Bruno leaves, who would we go for? I'm terrified. I'm terrorized of the idea. This game is made for Sesko, says Dante. It's obvious the players are playing with more confidence, but if you had to choose one player who's been most improved, who are you shouting out, says Dave. Le Mans. Have you been to a physio? I'm dealing with chronic pain at the moment. My calves are sore all the time and exercise makes it worse. Don't know if anyone has any advice. It's short temper. Thank you very much. Do smoking doobies with Goldbridge, says salutations. Thank you very much. Jack says, with Bruno's output being some of the best in the league, would you sell him in the summer for 100 million or retain? Well, we won't get 100 million, Jack. His release clause is 55. Baz says the midfield is looking a bit flaccid, according to Drew Peacock. And with if Bruno would leave us, what cam should we buy? There's a lot of people talking about this. I don't think there's any... Mark, check out Manchester Post, the protests, says Tracy. Can you just tell me what it is in the middle of a watch-along where I'm not going to be able to check it out? Yeah, there's a lot of comments about Bruno leaving. I don't think you need to be that worried about it. I think if we get Champions League football, there's a very high chance he'll stay. Let it go, Delo. Let it go. Excuse me. Yeah, we have got an 8 o'clock show tonight. It's a bit weird because it's a 2 o'clock game. So we'll have a match reaction, fan forum, and then I will be live at 8. I don't know why I've got a sneeze there. The collective trauma with Anana speaks gold when we celebrate Le Mans for consistently doing the simple stuff, says the Inquisition. Yeah, I saw something the other day about Le Mans stats, and I don't quite believe them. Another corner here. Be nice to get one right before half time. Yeah, I saw something about Le Mans stats not really stacking up against people like Martinez and Raya and everything like that. But I don't really give a shit about the stats, whether they're true or not, because you make a great point. It's not even about whether Le Mans is the best goalkeeper in the world. I mean, I'm not playing that game. The game we're playing is we've got a goalkeeper that does the simple things. So maybe his stats don't stack up against the best goalkeepers in the league, but we had a Pratt in goal, and now we've got somebody who just does the simple things, and it makes a massive amount of difference. Let's see if we can get a goal here. Goal kick, and I think that's half time. The collective trauma with it. I've done that. I'm a clinician, and sounds like you've got sciatica. Several causes. Most common is muscular spasms that compress the nerve, but could be more sinister, where disc spine involved. Physio can help, says Damien. Thank you very much. Do you think we'll move Mount on next season, says Gamer? Well, I love people who say that. Let's move Mason Mount on because he's injured again. Like there's some gullible twat saying, yeah, we'll give you £40 million for Mount. I don't think he's going to be that easy to move on, if I'm being completely honest, because his wage is so significant, isn't it? But half-time, 1-0 to Manchester United. Possession-wise, we've actually had less than Fulham, less shots, but we've had, it's been very equal game. I mean, Fulham have probably been better than us with the ball, but I think where United have really shone is set pieces. Every corner, every cross we've had, we've looked a real threat, and Fulham in the final third have been pretty poor. So very equal game. My assessment of it, and maybe some will agree and maybe some won't, is that if you took our set pieces out of it, I think it would probably be quite a equal, boring game. Not a lot of chances from open play. Fulham have created nothing. Again, they nearly scored from a cross. Good save by Le Mans. We've scored from a cross. But look, these are the sort of games that you haven't got to play scintillatingly well every week. And at this stage of the season, in the race that we are in, of course, it's about winning. Because winning, as we are at the moment, puts us back into 4th place. And I mean, look, I mean, I don't know how it's happened, but I'm sort of looking at Aston Villa, who are 5 points ahead of us because they're losing to Brentford. So, I mean, you sort of look at it, you may be looking at it now if you're Liverpool, Chelsea and United, and you're going, well, look, if Villa do slip up a little bit, we could be there to take advantage of it. I didn't realise that Villa were losing, so they conceded, they went red card for Shade, but then they've scored afterwards. I mean, look, there's a long way to go for Brentford with 10 men at Villa Park, but could be 5 points off third if we win this game and it stays things the way they are. So look, winning is the game here. Forest have had a man sent off as well against Palace. I mean, I may as well stop doing Premier League predictions because, yeah, I may as well stop doing bloody Premier League predictions. I don't know why I fucking bother. I really don't. I mean, that's for something else, but yeah, Forest have had a man sent off as well. So yeah, look, good position to be in. 1-0 up. Fill in the blank. Something with Goldbridge, beginning with W. Walking. Strand Larsen to Palace, says Espen. Apparently it's done. Who do you think will win the league and Champions League this season? Also, hope your back gets better soon, says Isabella. I don't know who's going to win the Champions League, but I definitely think it will be Arsenal for the league. Our problem is always grinding out results. We need goals, says Mac. The more I watch Cobby, the more I hate Amorim, says Structural Mastery. And you reckon Mainu is Bruno's protege, says Amit. Look, I'm a big fan of Mainu, but I've got to be honest, I haven't ended that half going, oh my God, Mainu's the reincarnation of Zidane. There seems to be some people who are seeing that. I think he's done okay. I don't see this scintillating performance that some people are seeing. I think he's done okay. I think Ahmad's the danger man. Get the ball to Ahmad, even in the first 2 minutes. And I think what I like from Mainu is that Carrick's clearly telling him to get the ball to Ahmad. I think I'd try and get the ball to Ahmad a little bit more because Robinson's going forward a lot. But look, I don't want to say these words because they feel a little bit dirty. But it's not a bad idea to try and win some set pieces and corners because every one of them, we look like we're going to score from it. Are you doing the City game on That's Football, says Evan? I am, yes. And the collective trauma with Anana, we've done that one. Thank you very much to Damien, who's a clinician. No more Delo long throws, thank God, says Ricardo. Can we do a fridge magnet giveaway, says T214. And the midfield is looking a bit flaccid. I've done that one, thank you very much. Yeah, get your comments in. Yeah, still a few people talking about Sesko. Why is Mount not on the bench, says Zane. He's injured. Again. And Sammy says that Carrick's interim spell has... Sorry, let me read this one. Carrick's interim spell has lifted the vibes. If no Champions League football, easy call, Tuchel, Nagelsmann. But if we qualify, would you consider a radical 2-year Ancelotti Bielsa stint with Carrick embodied as primed to take over the proper tutelage? I tell you what, Sammy, you've thought that one through. Look, I'm not going to get into the I say I'm not going to get into the manager conversation. The manager conversation is going to happen whether I want it to or not. I don't think I'll be making a decision on the manager until the end of the season, or at least April. I don't think that the light is going to go out on Man United's run for a few weeks yet. It's early days. We've seen it before. They've obviously enjoyed beating Man City and Arsenal. I think they'll beat Fulham and Spurs and West Ham. And then next month is where I think we'll start to drop some points and reality might bite. The key is to keep winning while the light is on. The players still look hyper-focused and they're enjoying the change. So get the points. That's what I think. As for the manager's job, a little bit too soon. Mainu's been good, solid 7, says X. And Laputa says, given our current situation, how important will it be for Cunha and Mbeumo to succeed? I feel it would be seriously damaging if they did. And, sorry, given our current situation, how important will it be for Cunha and Mbeumo to succeed? I feel it would be seriously damaging if they did. I think you miswrote that. I mean, I think they will succeed, and I think it won't be damaging if they do. What is the top 5 players you want this summer, says Mustaf. I'm getting a really weird selection of questions today. I keep getting asked about Bruno leaving, which there is no indication that he will. What do I think about the Champions League draw? And what are my top 5 players for the summer? And I'm halfway through a game where we need to win a game of football that gets us into the Champions League, which dictates what's going to happen in the summer. So I can't really give you my top 5 in the summer because I don't know the situation we're in. If we're in the Champions League, then it changes to what happens if we're in the Europa League. However, Anderson and Stiller are 2 players that I would be doing everything I can to get. Will you do a Dublin show 26? I was at the last 2, says Rob. I hope so. Sharon with Goldbridge, who says no, says Atib. I'd have to wear Speedos though. And in his biography, his parents wanted him to become a lawyer instead of a footballer in his interviews by Delo, says Sir. Would you want, well, there's a great question. If Delo became a lawyer, would you want him defending you at court? Leave it there. Hi, Mark. For the first time since the Mourinho era, I'm hopeful again, says Danny. I mean, I don't even know what to do with that. So we've won 2 games and we're 1-0 up against Fulham at half-time, but you're more optimistic and hopeful than you were when we finished 3rd and won the Carabao Cup under Ten Hag. Wow. Okay. Mark, it says there are thousands at the protest, says Tracy. The protest is over, but good stuff. Have you completely retired FC26, says Ricardo? No. When will you drop? I don't know what that's all about, Jordan. And I think we all would watch Pottery Class with Goldbridge. You can be throwing at the wheel, making a vase, share stories about growing up in the UK. I'm sure everyone would watch Let's Go Red, says Nectario. Thank you very much. And Marlowe says, back to being slow and unfocused. Too many misplaced passes and bad decision making, says Marlowe. Tends to be the voice of reason in a watch-along. So don't shoot the messenger, he does. Carragher's bigging up Casemiro. This guy is insufferable, says Evan. Is he not the guy who said that Casemiro's legs had gone? Mainu is flying. Amram should have been sacked for trying to bury him, not whatever he was sacked for, says Araki. Okay. And don't read this out, but get to your GP as the... Oh, thank you, Steve. So I will read it out. Don't read this out, but get to your GP and have a scan to rule out pancreatic cancer as the symptoms you have listed are classical. Well, mate, thank you so much. The most lethal cancer there is out there. Thank you. Probably one of the most happiest and optimistic super chats I've ever had in my life. I mean, look, maybe you'll be right. You'll go down in history, mate. But what a lovely thought, Steve. Love it. So I'm going to the doctors tomorrow. I had a super chat from Steve. I've got bad back, which I've had for most of my life, and it's hurting down my left leg, which I've had for most of my life. And I think I've got pancreatic cancer. I mean, I've gone all sweaty now. That's the sort of thing that's probably going to come true as well. Oh, God. I don't know. Salman says, Mr. Goldbridge, I'm sad you forgot me. You spoke with Mr. Epstein about me on email. Oh, God. I'll tell you what. I've got really bad back pain. I'm feeling quite emotional, and I'm trying to watch Man United play, and I'm getting a little bit bored of the shitty comments about pool boys and the Epstein files, which I know nothing about because I've never read anything about it. I clearly was never there, and I'm bored. Can we just talk about how well Le Mans is doing, or Casemiro's header or something? Because, yeah, I've just been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer as well, according to Steve. I feel like I'm just being beat up here. I'm almost at the point where I might just go and sit in the other room and watch the second half on my own with a cup of tea. Might be my last United game, according to Steve as well. Hi Mark, what do you think of the bet adver? Says Dean Hodgson. What's your favourite colour? Says J-Dead. Do you think Yoro is better off for his development with the coaching change, or is it doors for him? Mate, he's like, how old is Yoro? 19, 20? I don't think that's I don't think it's an issue. I mean, like, what about Aiden Heaven? Iraqi's just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Inquisition says just ignore it. I will. I just want to talk about football. It's sort of why we started the United Stand. Hi Mark, I might be indifferent to everyone else, but I'm not worried about the summer, says Lee Cape Town. Whether players or managers, I think we should concentrate on the here and now and enjoy every game won. Thank you very much, Lee. And Red Devil Packer says, we will pray so everything goes well, brother. Okay. Passing is so much sharper and the flow of how we recycle possession is dramatically improved, in my opinion. We're more entertaining at least, says Stuart. I don't know what game you're watching, Stuart. I really don't think we've been that good. I think it's been a bit of a shit game, and I think the set pieces have been key. I'm very happy because I want us to win, but I'm not watching. This is not entertaining from United. I don't think this has been a very good performance. I think it's been very like Arsenal. What do we think? Thank you very much to that. And 1 a.m. in Australia, says Aussie legend. I'd also go to see my dogs in heaven, says Vagabond. Thank you very much. When considering long-term coach, says Anil, we also need to consider how much control we are having in the game. We are effective, but don't have much control, says Anil. On the toilet with Goldbridge, says Golu. We had it good under Jose in hindsight, says Urim. And Carragher bigging up Casemiro. Thank you very much for that as well. Thank you. Do you think we'll see any half-time substitutions? No. I don't think there needs to be any half-time substitutions. We will. I'm sure we'll see Sesko at some point, but we don't need to at the moment. You mentioned Ten Hag, and I always wondered something. You think he would still be here if he never signed the disaster Anana, says Mazraoui. I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether it's me. I just seem to be getting some very strange questions today. I mean, we're watching Fulham against Manchester United with Michael Carrick in charge, where we need to win to get into the top 4. And we're being asked about if Ten Hag didn't sign Anana, would he still be here? We have had Amorim and Carrick ever since then. I mean, I don't have the answer to everything, mate. He never should have bought Anana, but he did, and he wanted to. So giving him the get out of jail card that if he hadn't done it, would he still be here? Well, he did. No one forced him to do it. I bought a Toblerone. You know what happened next, says Liam. Love the show, Mark. Casemiro, says Dead Silence. Are you happy with Lemens as number 1 next season, says Carr. Yep, there's no reason to change it. Do you think Cunha is better off the bench than starting games? No, David. I don't think he's necessarily a winger, though. Maguire's playing well so far, says Lucas. And Real Tyrone says, hi Mark, Steve probably meant well with his chat. Anyway, sounds like typical back pain or scatter, which is not serious. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure Steve didn't mean it on purpose, but diagnosing somebody with terminal cancer on a live chat is a new one on me. Would you be open to a manager position, says Sir Jim Radcliffe? Well, I haven't got long to go, so probably not best for your long-term plans. Carl says, don't worry about your back, and Steve's comments, I'm going to Little St. James next week. You're welcome to come along and party with us. What does that mean, Cole? And are you saying Ten Hag did better than Mourinho? I don't agree with you. That guy, to your health, cheers, says Danny. I don't think Steve was wishing cancer on me. I think he was just saying, like, your bad back and shoulder pain are classic symptoms of terminal cancer. Do you want me to provide hospice care for you, says Hyson? And, God, it's the end. I'm being ended here. Goldbridge has got more pool boys than Barrymore. You don't want to... No, we won't go there. Nico Williams got sent off for Forest because he was using his hands. I can't believe it, says Rajaf. Well, players are coming out for the second half here. Thank you, everybody, for getting involved. Very interesting half-time chat there. Didn't do much about the football, but that's fine. Let's get ready for the second half. As a reminder, we are sponsored by Boyle Sports, and I am half-time in the game. Good time to check on the bet builder. Let me just get the timer ready as we kick off here. Remember, I had Fulham's Harry Wilson and United's Cunha to score any time. Both teams to score and over 3.5 yellow cards. So I've got one team scoring so far, which I don't mind if it goes wrong as long as United win. And if you've got a bet on with Boyle Sports, whether it's a single, a multiple, or a bet builder, it's worth remembering they have an early payout feature. If your team goes 2 goals ahead at any point, you're paid out as a winner straight away. So even if United scored and went 2-0 up and Fulham came back, it would still get paid out because they went 2 up, no matter what happens. Drop your thoughts in the chat, how your bets are looking at half time. Thank you very much to Boyle Sports for sponsoring the show. And of course, it's 18 plus only, new UK and Ireland customers. And terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Please bet responsibly, begambleaware.org. Let's get this game won. I've been impressed with Fulham in relation to how they've built up, but realistically, if you get the second goal, it should be over. If I was Michael Carrick at half-time, I'd be saying, get the second goal and you've won this. The timer is wrong here, sorry. 3, 4, 5. There we go. We've got to turn Old Trafford into a fortress as well. Spurs next week. Villa have got to come here as well. Look, Villa are losing at half time. Nice ball by Bruno. This is where Cunha can cause problems. See, the positive is there's a lot of space in that midfield, so if we can use it, that would be good. Ornstein, apparently. Don't know what it's about. Someone can tell me in the chat. Actually, I'll go and look myself. I'll get all sorts of shit. Mateta, Medical, Crystal Palace, AC Milan. There you go. Well, Brentford are beating Villa at Villa Park at the moment, but they are down to 10 men. So if we could win here, we'd be 5 points off third place. I'm all for it. Pull somebody else in. Has Bruno ever played with 2 solid midfielders behind him? I'm thinking the impact that would have on his game, says Chammy. Probably not at Manchester United. Kevin says we need to up our game. Fulham look dangerous. It's definitely Sunday, says Nick P. I think Fulham have looked decent on the ball. Great save by Leno. I think Mbeumo was offside. Delo slips him in nicely. I think Fulham have looked decent on the ball. I don't think they've looked like they've got anything cutting edge. No, Mbeumo was definitely onside there. Delo timed the pass well. Goal kick. Thank you, Nick. Mark, I had an L4, L5 disc bulge which put pressure on my sciatic nerve. I ignored it by taking crazy amount of painkillers. I ended up having discectomy and now live with a paralysed left foot. Yeah, Andy, I'm definitely going to get this sorted out. Thank you. Fraser, thank you very much. Got a herniated disc and sciatic myself, so I feel for you, mate. Sciatica, mate, says Swifty. Salmon says, Mr. Goldbridge, me and Delo will support with your condition. We can take turns washing you like the old days. We can talk about back fours too. Alex says, I can't help but feel that Sesko might have been a better player to start with. We've struggled to break the lines and have been so reliant on set pieces. I mean, that's not a bad take, Alec. You are starting to make some very good takes. And you're right, we've been very set piece reliant so far. Nothing wrong with that. But Sesko obviously would make us better on set pieces. Well cleared by Martinez. I can't help think Carrick is using experienced players to get through results, hence why no Sesko in the team, says Cab. Mate, I don't even have a problem with that. If you're an interim coach, you've got no obligation to think about next season. Yoro, Heaven. You've got, you know, Mainu comes into the team because you're playing a midfield three and you'd rather play Mainu over Agate. I think if Agate was better than Mainu, Mainu probably would be on the bench. Luke Shaw there with a foul. But Carrick's got to get results. Absolutely. I got into football and supporting United because of your content, Mark, says Luna. Started watching near the end of Eric Ten Hag era. Feels odd. Feels odd being a latecomer who only knows the current United. Keep the content up, says Luna. Thank you very much. Am I all right with that? I'm a bit low. Bit low. There we go. JH says, Mark, back pain is a sign of a big cock. God, I should read ahead. I've just finished the Duncan Edwards book and I thought it was incredible. Definitely worth a read if anyone is thinking about it up the Reds. Which one was it, Wub? Because there's a couple. Rory says, pancreatic cancer tried successfully in mice this week. Major breakthrough, science stand. Thank you, pal. Free kick, straight at Le Mans, dealt with it well. And good defending by United. Corner. Done well there, Le Mans. I mean, it's one of those where you just follow the track of the ball, you get your body in the way and let everybody else do the work. Mitchell says Fulham are going to score. I don't know, Le Mans is having a good game. That's it. We've got it. Second goal is what it's all about. I think we should offer Carrick a 10-year deal, says Harry. Thank you. Heard, yeah, we're not doing anything about that. Don't want to be annoying, but a balancing chair without a back so you could move more while sitting may help, as sitting down is a no-no for back pain. In other news, Sesko in and Mbermo out, says Nick. Thank you. What we need to do is get some set pieces. That's been our best source of attack so far. Villa have equalised. Tammy Abraham. They're up against 10 men. They're probably going to win. We've had no yellow cards in this game. I said 3.5 yellow cards. Well done, Harry Maguire. We are sort of set up to counter here, aren't we? Which is fine. We're inviting a lot of pressure. Sort of how we played against Arsenal, to be fair. Well done, Maguire. It's a lovely ball by Mainu into Mbermo. This is where we need to counter. Wait for Ahmad. Cunha. Mainu. That's good. That's a good transition from back to front. I can deal with that. Yeah, Villa have equalised. Can you wish Nadine a happy birthday, says Milford. Happy birthday. VX says, how are we playing, Mark? I mean, look, I think it's one of those types of performances where it might sort of split the fan base a little bit. Lovely good ball by Mainu. He's just pinging the ball out, relieving the pressure, which is good to see. I would agree. I think I'd give Mainu a 7 at half-time. We just need to get the second goal. Fulham have actually played decent, and I'm not surprised by that. They are 7th. Delo should not shoot from there. As I sort of described it as Arsenal-esque, really. In the sense that we've defended well, and then we've been very good on set pieces. And I think it's just it's not a dominating performance from United. Oh, what a goal by Cunha! Casemiro, he's doing the dance again, and I think that's going to be the 3 points. As I was just saying, it's not been a dominating performance from Manchester United, but it's been a strong defensively performance. The set pieces have been good, and it's allowed us to be patient for the second goal, and the patience has paid off. It's Casemiro with the assist. If you've got him in your FPL, you've got a goal and an assist there. But it's a lovely ball by Casemiro, but it's Cunha. 3 goals in 3 games, and the Wolves form is coming back. It's definitely coming back. It's a fantastic finish. And from where he is, he's probably not got a massive right to score from here. But well done by Cunha. Delo gives it into him. Well, Mainu gives it into him. And then look, he's onside. And the pass from Cunha allows him to be able to take it first time. A little bit like Bruno's pass last week. The weight of the pass is perfect. And he does him on the front post. Leno probably shouldn't get done from there. Front post glitch, but the power is it's pure power. It's pure power. When you look at it from here, it's a brilliant finish. Yeah, you don't save those, to be fair. People say you shouldn't get beat on your front post, but he's put it in the top corner. Immense power and shot. What a finish. 2-0. Brilliant. Breathing space. I mean, I'll be saying now, with 57 minutes gone, is it a case of pushing on and maybe turning it into 3 or 4? And people were saying Cunha's having a bad game. I mean, look, again, you've got to get into the sort of Bruno vibes. Like, Bruno's flicked it around a few times today and not been, gave the ball away, but assist from the cross, Cunha might give the ball away a little bit, but that goal's a match winner. It is all about the 3 points, but you also want, you want to be entertained. As I said, it's to me, I think we've got a bit of an Arsenal vibe going about us today. We've been very good at set pieces. We've defended well. And you've got that quality when you need it. Sorry, I'm going to catch up on some of your comments, but I feel like there might be a third goal here. We're just waiting to... We're back. Give us the title now, says Sim. Have you tried movement training like Pilates? Lower back pain often due to tight hips or shoe soles. Fix my back by getting orthopedic shoes, says Slazy. Thank you. Let's get some subs on and put the game to bed, says Billy. That celebration from Cunha goes hard, says Cap. What a hit, says Julian. Are you entertained now? Stop thinking about comments and rejoice, mate, says Iraqi. It's about time that guy cut his hair, says Milford. Can you do the Cunha dance, says Parker? Absolutely no chance at the moment. If the NHS had half the people in this chat, it'd be thriving, says Deck. Curious as to how you can get 3.5 yellow cards, says it's CJR. And they've done that about Nadine as well. Villa goals ruled out. Oh, yeah. Still 1-0 to Brentford, so it's still good for us at the moment. Good shout in the chat. I thought they'd equalised. It's still 1-0 to Brentford against Villa as well, which puts us 5 points behind them, not 5 points. Rain says, would you give the job to Carrick now? Mate, please stop asking me this. I'd rather get asked about the pool boy. I'm not going to say give Carrick the job before April. If you want to do that, that's fine. But no. I've seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer win 8 games, get given the job, and it was the biggest mistake we've ever made. Good day, Mark. Is it true that Arsenal could be banned from the Champions League? I've got absolutely no idea what this is all about, Mr. BDA. So if you're going to ask me questions that seem a little bit out there, please give me the detail and then I can comment on it. Spurs bench versus City. Oh, my days, says Muzz. I feel like I need to look at it now. Good day, Mark. Go to a physiotherapist. Chiropractors are a sham, says Phantom. Okay. Can we just leave my back alone now? Would you give the job to Carrick, says Rain? Thank you. Cunha has always been a surfer. The aura is insane, says Rajaf. Delo's been great, says Luke. And we're back. Give us the title. Thank you very much. I want to check out this Man City bench. Oh, yeah. Well, Spurs bench has got Odebear on it, Sarr on it, Tell on it. Yeah, it's not a great bench. Remember, we're playing them on Saturday, though. I mean, I don't really give a shit about Spurs bench against Man City. Hopefully, they get a couple of players sent off against us. Against City. Carrick doesn't strike me as someone who would roll over like Ollie, says Santon. Look, if you want to give Carrick the job now, well done. I'm not going to do that. And I've got no decision to make anyway. You need centre midfield as a priority. Midfield lacks legs, says HS. We've done all right today, though, haven't we? I think Fulham have been surprisingly blunt up front. I mean, I've never really been a big fan of Jimenez, but I don't know whether they've got any other options. 2012, August the 8th, met Mark at a bar drunk and took him round mine to play some ping pong. Lovely guy and a great father, says Golu. Can we get an Agadoo, Mark, says Ethan? No. And that's reserved for actual big occasions. We've actually had less possession than Fulham and less shots, which is strange because I don't feel like Fulham, well, they've only had 3 on target. I don't feel like Fulham have had, I can understand that Fulham have had more of the ball than us and they have been very good on the ball, but there's not been any threat. Free kick. Yellow card. Who did he book for that then? Casemiro yellow card. I have got Casemiro as a yellow card in my bet builder. I can't remember who else I've got. Chammy says, I'm happy we're winning, but I'm starting to see the pre-Amrim slowness starting to creep in. Not running, just waiting to counter. Nah, mate, I'm very happy with the result today. I think there's some unrealistic expectations in this fan base that because we beat Man City and Arsenal, we're suddenly a good team. I don't think that's going to happen overnight. I think we're going to need better players to do that. And results are important, especially with Chelsea and Liverpool. Bring Lacey on. So good with the ball, says Rajaf. Good free kick position here, but I don't know that Fulham have got anybody that really can take free kicks. I mean, Raul Jimenez is on it. I've never seen him take a decent free kick. And I still haven't. Um, 2-1. I'm waiting for an offside. I mean, look, I'm normally quite good at this. I'm sort of waiting for an offside here. He doesn't look like he's onside. He's offside. He's offside, isn't he? It's offside. I thought it was offside. He looked miles offside to me. You can tell he's offside, you can see, 100%. I presume you're offside from the shot. Sorry, he's offside there, so this won't be a goal. You got to relax with me. That's why I don't react to that goal, because I'm convinced he's offside. I mean, I don't know what they're sort of looking at. I mean, are they trying to say? I don't know what we're looking at here. Leave it to VAR. If United ends up in the top 4, how much credit would you get Amorim? Says Rub. I think it would be irrelevant, really. You know what's good for bad back? I'm a sore on 100k. But jokes aside, hope you can sort it. If not, chat will buy you a bandana, says Cyber Spider. Shahin says he doesn't make enough subs. I'm happy with the results, but you can't keep playing the same 11. That's, again, I haven't got a problem with that. That's the right of an interim coach. You're there for short-termism. VAR's been a bit of a shambles today. I mean, look, he looked miles offside. I don't know what we're waiting for. As it states right now, 3 straight wins. Is he getting a haircut, says Dark Blue Wolf. I'm bored of the haircut stuff. Yeah, he's getting a haircut. The movement should continue next week against Spurs. Love United, hate Glazers, says Marco. Thanks for your super chats. I mean, he was clearly offside. Why are we taking so long? I don't get why we're taking so long. It's not a handball for a penalty. That's ludicrous. And he's clearly offside, so just get on with it. This is not good for football, you know. It's not good for players to be standing still like this for this long. And Anderson's right at Fulham. Like, they're standing offside, yeah. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, I feel for Fulham. I mean, I don't feel for Fulham. Obviously, I want United to win the game, but to take that long on that, it's fucking disgusting. What? And I tell you what, if it's offside for him, he was offside in the first 10 seconds. So what are they looking for? Handball check. Go fuck yourself. I mean, seriously. A free kick blasted into the wall. Anyway, we're 2-0 up. That's the main thing. Has Lamens done enough to secure a long-term spot, says Jay Victor? Yeah. Can we give Lamens some airtime? Can we briefly discuss how well he's played? He's had plenty of airtime, mate. We were talking about it at half-time. I said he was my favourite player at half-time. Thank you, Perez Golf. He says he's filled the position since the nightmare of Nana and he's made some key saves in crucial moments. Fair point. Brentford are still... 10 men Brentford are still beating Aston Villa as well. Which is going to be mightily significant. It's a fair point about Carrick, isn't it? He doesn't make many subs. He doesn't have to make subs. Oh, here's the offside. Well, they haven't even given the offside, I thought. They're giving it on Chukwueze. That's typical VAR. They've actually given offside for the one that I didn't think was offside. So there must have been 2 offsides. Take your pick. Sessegnon and Kevin on for Fulham. Hey, if it's offside, it's offside. Don't allow it, you know? Yeah, good point as well from Ghostwriter. They only play 1 game a week, so we don't need to be on managed minutes. I took a dump and came back, and VAR was still going on, says Pengers. Really, we need to utilise this space that's there on the break now. 3 games and no Sesko. Sesko came on against City. Go on, Cunha. Bruno. Mainu. Might be worth a shot. Oh, you know what? It was ready. I'd have got off the chair for that. Shaw's been very weak second half, says Brian. I mean, to be honest, I mean, look, I'm not a big fan of Luke Shaw anymore because of putting England before United, but I don't think he's been that bad today. I don't think we've seen a bad performance from a United player today. Which is good. In fairness, Delo's been all right. Good cut back to Cunha. I would be happier if we could keep a clean sheet versus banging a couple more goals while conceding some of our own. We need more defensive discipline, says Alec. I mean, that's a good point. There's a lot of people talking about Sesko. Why not bring Mazraoui on? Like, Mazraoui's a really important player in this squad. Why are we not getting him on? Yeah, Delo's done all right, but you're telling me that 2-0 up against Fulham, you can't bring Mazraoui on for 15 minutes and give him a bit of game time. Sesko's coming on. Cunha off. Lovely goal. Why is Delo doing the dance? Don't do the dance, Delo. It's not your thing. Sesko's on. Is it possible to see your setup from the whiteboard behind you, Mark? After years of watching would be quite interesting. I won't do it, Gavin, because it will blow the illusion. What's in front of here is not as exciting as what's behind there, trust me. Casemiro off as well. You probably, yeah, good shout from Patrick. Agate comes on. You could say Casemiro man of the match, goal and assist. Bruno's lived off that for years. Why not Casemiro? No, Sesko isn't a bad thing. We have 3 players up top that are playing well. He needs to earn his spot. Also coming back from injury, so we're managing that, says Ethan. Thank you. Look, as I said, Mainu. Bruno, little flick again. Good cross. Sesko! Oh, nearly. Onto the post. What a start that would have been. Straight away, get the ball into Sesko. Probably should have scored. Maybe a little bit cold. Unbelievable start that would have been. Ahmad with the cross. That would have been a... Well, it's a lovely cross. He should score. He should score. Let's get real. He should score that. Give him an excuse. He is a bit cold. Yeah, Spurs at Old Trafford on Saturday, 12:30. I'm going to watch the Man City Spurs game later, actually. I mean, in my opinion, Spurs should be an easier game than Fulham, but doesn't always work out like that, as we know. I'm keeping an eye on this Villa game at the moment, because if Brentford win with 10 men against Villa, we're starting to look like, if we can pull third place into it as well, yabba dabba do. Why have I lost my bloody live chat now? Piece of shit. So he's brought Agate on for the last 15 minutes. Some might say that's a bit of a risk, but it's not a bad idea, considering we're going to have to get through the rest of the season with these players, by the looks of it, with no January transfer activity. Clean sheet would be nice, yeah. Would you ever do a Red Dead Redemption? I've tried to do it twice, mate, and both times it got wiped off my PS5, so I'm just destined not to do it, I suppose. All played Sesko. Wins the free kick. Casemiro had a bit of a knock. He should be all right. VAR never sorry, I'll read that in a moment, Bulbous. VAR never get the moment of contact with the ball right. It's always a blurry still. Premier League needs to use better cameras, make a killing, and the tech is crap, says Bulbous. Switch to That's Football for Villa Brentford, says Mazraoui. And if City lose as well, second gets dragged into the top 4 battle, only 5 points off them, says Daniel. Exactly. 2 more games until the haircut, says Tom. It's going to be interesting to see if we're going to get... I mean, they're showing the Chukwueze offside here. That's not the one I thought it was. It's going to be interesting to see if we're going to chance our attacking plan to suit Sesko more instead of Mbeumo. Love-hate game, says Neville's not on commentary, equals Jim Lover. Arsenal face possible UEFA FFP financial breaches, says Jake. I'll have a look at that, because there's probably a video in that for That's Football. Thank you very much. Be nice to see Lacey. I want to see Mazraoui, mate. I think it's... Look, Delo has played well today. That's not what I'm saying. But to me, it's just wrong that Mazraoui, a player of that quality, is not getting any minutes. He's basically sitting on his arse for 2 weeks. If City loses, done that one from Daniel. Are you doing the City game? Yes. I've just set it up, Sebastian. Yeah, it's 1-1 between Forest and Palace, and it's 1-0 to Brentford with 10 minutes to go against Villa, and they've got 10 men. It would be hilarious if Ruben took over at City after Pep started wanting things. Do you think it's realistic possibility given who their sporting director is? Says Irish Ryan. Nah, I don't think Cameron would go to City. I don't think City fans would be happy with that either. City don't tend to do... City don't tend to do things like that. I don't think they'd be up for taking a sacked Man United manager. I think they like to go more high profile than that. Oh, big save, Lamont. I'll tell you what, that was a good cross. That's a good cross. And Jimenez, probably that's a better chance than Sesko's. Maguire gets caught underneath it. And... well, actually, Maguire gets back. It's a good tackle. David says there were rumours that Mazraoui wanted to leave for Juve. Maybe that's why. Free Mazraoui says it's CJR. Anderson with a header there. Maybe Yoro should get some minutes as well. So Shahin, look, it's not Carrick's job to give minutes to players we want him to, whether it's Mazraoui, Yoro, Heaven. His job is to win games of football, isn't it? And we do only play one game a week, so he's probably thinking, I don't have to do it, you know? I feel like it's going a bit under the radar just how much Shaw holds our team back. I think there's so many positives to how we're playing, but I feel he's a serious liability on both ends. Yeah, I mean, I would give Luke Shaw a 6, Drake. I wouldn't be going stupid and giving him a 5 or anything like that. I don't think he's up to the task, if I'm being completely honest, but I don't think he's been shit. I think he's been okay. Dalot's been better than him by a long way. I think Casemiro, Mainu, been good. Cunha obviously got the goal. Ahmad's been good. Centre-backs have done a good job again. Fulham, I'll tell you what, Fulham have moved the ball around lovely. There's no doubt about that. Lemens is given a penalty. He's given a penalty. Lemens made the great save, but Maguire, I think, has caught Jimenez. With this referee, you never know. There is time here. Maguire's not happy about it, but Maguire's saying I didn't touch him. Well, mate, you absolutely clattered him. You absolutely took him out. That is a penalty, I'm afraid. Yeah, I was hoping I mean, Maguire was like convinced I haven't touched him, but I was sort of you've got to take your time with this VAR because they've made so many fucking mistakes. But look, Lemons has had a very good game. Lemons has made some big saves. He made a big save there. Who's taking the penalty? What was my bet builder? Harry Wilson. Oh, it's Jimenez taking it. I tell you what, I had both teams to score. Fulham, Harry Wilson and Cunha to score at any time and over 3.5 yellow cards. We've had 2 yellow cards, but it's not Harry Wilson taking the penalty. Anyway, I don't want him to score anyway. He's already taken the shot, though, says Robert. Yeah, it's a FIFA penalty, but it's the reckless nature of Maguire's tackle, I think, that's allowed it. I think Lemons is going to save this. Oh, good penalty. He went the right way. I don't know what I'm clapping for. I'm clapping the penalty. But no, I'm clapping Lemons. I think he went the right way. 5 minutes to go here. You don't save those. He went. It was. Tell you what, he did well. Le Mans did well. If that hadn't have gone so high, yeah, he did do well there. He could have saved that. It was it's a very good penalty by Jimenez, but he'd have saved that if he hadn't gone high. Sesko missed the sitter. That gives the ball away. Sloppy start attack for penalties is real life. Sorry if that came off as me calling him shit. 6 is accurate. I think he's doing what he can, but I feel like he's not the same player from 5 years ago. He's bringing Mazraoui on now for Delo. Robert says he's already taken the shot. When do you think De Ligt is coming back? Says Sergio. I don't know. He's not back training yet. So, look, we've got to get through these next 5 minutes because we need this win. Could be a shake. Could be. Look, Fulham haven't been bad. They've just not been very good in the final third. I just realised we're getting very close to the end of this game as well. Still, Villa losing. This is big. If we can hold on here, this is really a big... I mean, look. I get some of the comments. It's not been scintillating by Manchester United. But sometimes when you look at the amount of games under Amorim that we should have won that we didn't win, this feels a little bit like those sort of games. When you think about Bournemouth, you think about West Ham, you think about Fulham away. We played like this a lot under Amorim and we didn't get the win. Fine margins. So important that we get over the line here. Fulham have got a good record of coming back. Get rid of it. Get rid of it, Ahmad. That's it. Get rid of it. $87. Can't be that many minutes added on. We're going to have to defend a little bit. They're going to put crosses into the box. It's a crap cross, but Luke Shaw, what are you doing there? That's all right. That's all right. "7 minutes," says CT. Well, you can't know that because we're still in the 89th minute, but Mazraoui on. Good defender. Is Carrick's recent tactical success a sustainable new blueprint for United or just another interim bounce? Hiding the need for a total rebuild, says J. Victor. Well, look. Even if Carrick gets the job, he would have to sign players. This team is not sustainably going to be a Premier League winning side, is it? It just isn't. Carrick knows that. Maguire, Casemiro, Bruno at some point. These players would need replacing. You know, there's a lot of young players that need to develop. There's some players that you might not think aren't good enough. Luke Shaw as well. Hi, Mark. Where would you rank Delo in terms of fullbacks in the Premier League history? Has to be top 5 for me, says Dill. I'll leave that. Check your bet, pal, says D-Pal. Yeah, but I've got Harry Wilson to score, haven't I? So and I don't want that to happen. 7 minutes definitely going to get added, says Recon Guy. Well, it won't matter if we can score, which we're not going to score there. Delo letting his man run in behind him once again, says Sea Dog. Thought the penalty taker wasn't allowed to stop the run-up. That was clear stop run bullshit, says Damien. Kimmich to replace Casemiro when he leaves, says VX. I'll tell you what, I don't think we can blame Agate, but what tends to happen when Agate comes on? 9 minutes? 9 minutes? Where'd you get bloody 9 minutes from? Where's that from? 9 minutes? Are you having a laugh? The chat's going mad. I'm with you, bruv. 9 fucking minutes. I'm not even bloody joking. They're having a laugh. Fulham on the attack. Oh my fucking God! Why is it always us? Why is it always us? Who's done that? Who has done that? Who is this? What? He's just scored a bloody worldie. Who is it? Who is that? I can't speak. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's hard to take, that is. That's like a prostate check from King Kong. That's hard to take. That hurts. We don't deserve that. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. That is just incredible. Runs off Ahmad. You don't save those. You don't save those. I mean, that's just a worldie. That is an absolute worldie. That goal, you're talking Cunha and Dorgu last week. That is incredible. Fucking hell. I don't even know who it is. My God, look at that. What are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that? Kevin. And Villa are still bloody losing as well. Look, we've got time here. We've got 7 minutes. Go and win it. Fucking hell. I mean, that's absolutely shocked me. That Sesko miss is hurting now. I was literally just saying that though. There's something about Agate, isn't there? Lovely run. Who's this? Sesko. Goal! Get in! Get in! Brilliant! Absolutely get in! Come on! Sesko 3-2. Get in! Come on! What a way to win it! What a way to win it! Right at the end! Bloody get in! Fantastic! Fantastic! I mean, look, we get a little bit lucky. There's a slip at the back. Bruno with another assist. Oh, come on! This is brilliant. I haven't even changed the headline of the match reaction. It still says huge win. And it will be a big win. Wow. But character. 3-2. 3-2 again. Second week in a row. Character building. Somebody's saying offside. Shut up. How can he be offside? Don't say he's offside. How can he be offside? He's behind the strikers. He can't be offside. Lovely play by Bruno. No, he can't be offside. Shut up. What a finish. What a finish by Sesko. Yeah, I think it's just a couple of people saying offside. They're lying to us. Don't worry. Fucking hell. Can't deal with that. Look, it's not over yet. There's still 5 minutes to go here. Oh, God. I tell you what, I've stood up a couple of times there with the bad back. I feel no pain. Fergie time. Build the statue. Right, let's just defend it now. Let's calm down and defend it. Big goal for Sesko as well. I mean, these are big moments for the player. Like, very big moments for the player. Relief get in, says Shahin. That's on Carrick, playing deep, inviting pressure. This was before the goal. Sesko, goosebumps, United, I can't speak, says Rafa. Light switch FC, forget to pay the electricity bill, says Pengas. Bottle job, says Hamid. And that's what we get for defending like cowards, says Spot On. These are all before the goal. Well done, Harry. Marco Silva can't believe it. We can't have happy moments. Why, oh, why, says Mario. 9 minutes thanks to VAR. They're reviewing replays on a Commodore 64, says AJ. Isn't the Ollie ball again? Low block, Fulham at home. Wasn't that what I wanted to look at, actually. I mean, look, they've had more of the ball than us, Fulham. Right, surely we can defend 3 minutes here. The Ripper has gifted 20 memberships. You're a legend. Bruno, my man of the match, hasn't stopped working, says Son. Give Bruno a lifetime contract, says UTD. Back bad from switching up your wiping technique. Could be that, Santoni, actually. There's a bit of a twist there. Arsenal game all over again, says David. And United really bringing the football back, says Nate. We've just got to win this. Villa are still losing against Brentford as well, which is a massive result considering they've been down to 10 men all game. Couple of minutes to go here. It's been a long game, this. Fulham have only got themselves to blame, you know. I mean, that is... If I was Marco Silva, honestly, you get back to 2-2 with a worldie at Old Trafford and you leave yourself that open. I can't believe we end up with a chance like that when they've got... I mean, they must have thought they were going to win it. Why they haven't just gone and parked the bus in the last couple of minutes is crazy. But we've just got to defend it out here. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. We're into the 99th minute. And Luke Shaw lets it go. That should be it. Mate, ignore the fake. Mate, I don't know why people get ignored. I don't know why you're bothering about the fake scores. It's Man City, Liverpool fans and Chelsea fans. Le Mans has got the ball. It's the 99th minute. We're winning 3-2 and I'm watching it. Nobody can be ahead of me because I'm watching it on Sky. So don't listen to them. We're going to win this game. Le Mans has got the ball. The referee's about to blow the whistle. He's not blown it yet. He will do. Just blast that, Martinez. A 100 minutes. Just blow, ref. It doesn't look like he's going to blow. Still playing. Carrick's playing 5 at the back. Well, you can't blame him. We're trying to hold on for a win here. Yeah, I mean, it's not Agate's fault that Fulham have scored 2 goals, but there is something strange about when we bring Agate on. I mean, can you remember what I said about Fulham? I said this game reminded... Sorry, can you remember what I said about Brighton? I did say this game reminded me a little bit of Brighton in October, where 2-0 up, cruising, and then you end up nearly bottling it. Come on, ref, blow the whistle. Why is he not blowing the whistle? Ref, come on. Mate, you've added on 2 minutes on top. This is giving me stress. Well, you've got to blow it now. They're going back to their keeper. Mate, come on. There we go. Big win. Big win. 3-2. That'll do. And I think I'm right in saying Brentford have... No, they haven't won yet. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to get over to my match reaction. Big shout out to Boyle Sports, as always. Thank you so much for that. Getting involved. We'll be taking player ratings soon, so make sure you join me there. But before we go, Watchalong has been powered by Boyle Sports. They've got a special offer on at the moment. If you're new to Boyle Sports, bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. Details in the description. 18 plus only. UK and Ireland customers. Full terms are on the screen and in the description. Please bet responsibly. Huge win for Manchester United. Let's do the player ratings over on the United stand. Then we're going to do the fan forum as well. So I'll see you over there. Thank you very much for tuning in. And let's talk about the match. I've got to get there quick because I'm doing bloody Man City against Spurs as well. See you in a mo.